So what I want to do is talk to you about how I can get my Automation Studio drawing off of Automation. Yeah, so how do we put it in a Word document, or how do we put it in a drawing program, or how do we get it into even a PDF? So really what we're going to do is we're going to take a screenshot of it, and then we're going to paste it into whatever program, and then from there we can just save it and or stick it in however we want. So I'm going to put it in a Word document, and then we'll save it as a PDF if we want it as a PDF, and or we can stick it into Paint or any other drawing program. So I got Paint open, so I'll do that. So what I want to do is I want to first show you the best thing to do when we're taking screenshots of anything is to zoom in. If you're doing that on the web or whatever, zoom in as much as you can. Can I go in another little bit? No, I can't. You see, it's not. So I'm going to go there. Now I can zoom in. Now there are a couple different ways to take a screenshot. One is you can just hit print screen on your keyboard and it'll just copy that. So actually, let's do that. Hit print screen on my keyboard. Now, for me, I've got a program, but let's just say that I didn't have this program. If I don't have this program, what it's going to do is it's going to grab your whole screen, A to B. So from there, it's kind of, I'm actually going to select it here, but if you hit print screen on your computer, you won't have to go through what I just did. It'll just be there. It'll be in, I'm going to open Paint. It'll be in your clipboard. So let me open Paint. I'm going to throw this in here, paste. Now, if you look at this, I don't want that. I just want my diagram. Well, now I can actually clip my diagram out here. A little bit more there. And now, watch this. I can hit crop. So there you go. Now that's done. So I'll show you the other way to do this. I'm going to just close this. The way you can do it, if you have Windows 10, you can go down here to this little icon here and hit Screen Snip. If you hit that, this is pretty cool. It helps you kind of snip out certain spots. So I'm going to grab the corner over there. Sweet, I got it. And then I'm going to go down here and get a little bit of space on either side. There. Now, I just let go of my mouse. I grabbed my left click on my mouse and I did that. Now I can go back in here and I can paste it. It'll be about the same. Yeah, see, it's about the same. Now I'm actually going to do crop. So if you have a paint kind of canvas that's that big, and then you paste this, go down here, right click on it, and just say crop. And it'll just jump in. It'll size it however to the area that's been selected. Even if I did this and I said crop, it's just cropping that section. So here I have this image. Now, if I have it in Paint, that's fine. From there, I can just save it, or I can send it to somebody, I can email it to someone, or I could just keep it in a file somewhere. So that means that you can open it up and take a look at it if you don't have Automation Studio. So the purpose of this is to kind of, how do we get the image for Automation Studio to other people who can't open it in Automation Studio? Obviously, if you're sending it to your professors to be handed in or something, just email them the Automation Studio because they have that program. But if you want to send it to somebody and they want to look at it, or you want to embed it into a document, how do you get it in there? Just do a screenshot. So we've got that. So now we've got an image of it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to jump into Word. And let's say I've got an appendix and it's for schematics. Okay, so schematics, or just schematic or schematics, depending on how many you're putting in there. So let's just say that I've got just one schematic. So I'm going to maybe put that down there and I'm going to center it. Oops. So I'm going to go like this, and we'll kick that up to 20. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down here and I'm going to paste this. Now watch this. It's already on my clipboard, so I'm just going to paste it. There, it's on my clipboard. Now, I've got a couple options to how I can put this in here. I can do in front of text. That way I can actually stick it anywhere I want. I could even actually, if I had that, I could stick it into the document here if I wanted. So I could put it into this page right on top of everything. Or if I say right click over here and I say square, this is pretty cool. What I can do now is it tries to fit into the text. So let's do this and let's put it in here. So I want to put it like step 3 neatly by hand, something, whatever. So that would be maybe an example for this particular highlighted section. But it's not. But then maybe I sneak it up a little bit because it's a smaller drawing. But now that kind of looks a little bit too much like a column. It's harder to read. So you don't want to have too many columns. That's maybe acceptable there. So now that's kind of snuck into a document. So I'm just going to undo all of that. And let's just say I actually wanted it here. So now I'm going to go for in front of text. That's fine. I can put it anywhere I want. And that's kind of when you have like a larger document, it's better to do that. Now, if I wanted to save this as a PDF, I would open up a new blank Word document, and then I would do this actually. I would go to my layout and I would choose landscape because it's wider than it is tall, right? So now I've got that going on. And again, right now I've actually, how did I put it in? Well, it's in a line with text. That's the default. So I may want to do it square. I'm going to put it down there, and then I can write a title in here. I can write whatever I'm going to write as a title. There you go. So now that's in there somewhere, and I can just say File, Save As, and I'm just going to put it anywhere. So I'm going to put it on my desktop, and I'm going to save it as, click down here and go to PDF, and I can save it as a PDF. Now the other option for that is I can just go like this. I can just say File, Save as PDF in your Word document. So, but it wants me to save it as a Word it wants me to name the Word document before I save it, because it's like, wait a second, this is just an open Word document. You want me to save it as a PDF? You need to have like a saved Word document, and then you can save it as a PDF. So no, whatever. So that's how you can save it as a PDF if you want to do that. Now, I think the only reason that you'd save it as a PDF is if you wanted to email it to someone who didn't have Automation Studio, couldn't open it, or wanted to embed it into a program. But if you actually wanted to give it to somebody else so that they could embed it into a program, you'd want to send it as an image, because they would then have to take a screenshot of the PDF to stick it into a Word document. So I hope that helps on how you can actually get an Automation Studio drawing out of Automation Studio and give it to someone who doesn't have Automation Studio. And again, like if you're submitting this to your professors, you know, on Blackboard, or you have to email them or something, yeah, just submit, or anybody that has Automation Studio, just submit the Automation Studio drawing or program itself, and then they can open it. Especially if they're going to be marking you as well, because they'll want to actually run it and see how you've done it and stuff. Anyway, there you go. That's how you deal with putting Automation Studio out of Automation Studio, a drawing out of Automation Studio, and email it to somebody or put it into a document. Okay, bye.